Imagine stepping into the royal chambers of Queen Isabella of Castile, the woman who united Spain and sent Columbus across the ocean. The chapel bells are still ringing, incense clouds fill the air, but as you approach her, something feels wrong. You expect to smell roses or the sweet perfume of a queen. Instead, the stench hits you like a wall, sour, rotten, suffocating. And then you see it, her once white gown now yellowed, stained, crawling with black specks. Fleas, dozens of them. This is no ordinary queen. This is Isabella, the most powerful woman in Christendom. And according to legend, she made a vow so extreme, so unthinkable, that it blurred the line between piety and madness. A vow that she would not change her clothes, not even once, until the Muslim kingdom of Granada was conquered. Was this true faith or dangerous obsession? And why did this legend haunt her memory for over 5 centuries? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover will change the way you imagine medieval royalty forever. You awaken to the toll of chapel bells, their echoes rolling through the cold stone passages of the fortress. The bronze chimes summon the faithful to morning prayer. The year is 1491, and you serve as a lady-in-waiting to none other than Isabella I of Castile, Queen of Spain, the most formidable woman in Christendom. Your bare feet press against icy marble as you hurry through the Alcazar of Segovia, balancing a basin of rose water and folded linens. The air is heavy with the scent of incense, yet beneath it lingers something sharper, organic and foul, that makes your stomach churn. Outside the Queen's chambers you pause, listening through the thick oak doors. Her voice carries, low and steady, murmuring Latin prayers, accompanied by the gentle clicking of rosary beads sliding through her fingers. She has been at her devotion for hours. When you are finally summoned inside, you find Isabella kneeling before an immense crucifix. She still wears the same plain linen shift she donned 3 months earlier, when Granada fell under siege by Christian forces. What was once snowy white now bears yellow sweat stains, reddish blotches of blood from self-flagellation, and darker marks you dare not name. The odor hits you like a physical strike. It fuses with the heavy clouds of frankincense wafting from silver censers, forming a sickly mixture of holiness and rot. You set down the basin carefully, fully aware that disturbing her prayers could bring punishment or worse. As you step closer, a chilling detail catches your eye. Small black specks crawl along the folds of her soiled garment. Fleas, dozens of them, alive and thriving in the sanctified filth of Spain's most powerful queen. The tale you've just stepped into is not entirely fiction, yet neither is a complete truth. For centuries, a persistent legend has clung to the memory of Isabella I of Castile, the fierce monarch who unified Spain and financed Columbus's voyage across the Atlantic. According to the story, Isabella once swore a sacred vow. She would not change her undergarments until the Muslim stronghold of Granada surrendered to Christian rule. The siege lasted 8 grueling months, and so the tale goes, so did her unwashed linen shift. Some versions push the story even further, claiming she wore the same garment for years, 10 by some accounts. Others suggest the vow belonged not to Isabella at all, but to a later Spanish queen from the Habsburg line, infamous for their religious zeal and eccentric habits. The exact details shift like sand in the wind, but the core image remains. A queen whose piety bordered on obsession, who embraced filth with a fervor that would make even peasants recoil. Historians today largely dismiss the legend as propaganda, crafted either to glorify Isabella's devotion or to smear her as a dangerous fanatic. Yet the myth's endurance is revealing. The fact that it could circulate for over 500 years speaks volumes about the era she lived in, a time when holiness and horror were separated by the thinnest of boundaries. To understand why such a story took root, we must journey into medieval mindset, into a world where filth was sanctified, bathing was viewed as sinful, and undergarments themselves were thought to carry divine power. To modern minds, the story seems grotesque, but in the late Middle Ages, filth could be seen as a mark of sanctity. Bathing was rare, often discouraged by churchmen who warned that cleaning the body invited vanity and sin. Instead, believers were told to cleanse the soul through prayer, fasting, and penance. Dirt became a visible sign of humility before God. Saints were praised for refusing to wash, their foul odor said to drive away temptation. In Isabella's Castile, this mindset was magnified by war. The Reconquista was framed not merely as a military campaign, but as a holy crusade. Enduring discomfort, stench, and even vermin could be interpreted as sacrifices offered to God. Thus, whether or not Isabella truly wore the same chemise for months, the very idea was plausible and even admirable to her contemporaries. Yet, while Christian Spain equated dirt with holiness, just across the battlefield a different tradition flourished. In the Muslim kingdoms of Al-Andalus, bathing was a central part of daily life. Public bathhouses, or hammams, stood at the heart of cities like Granada and Cordoba. Cleanliness was linked not to sin, but to spiritual purity. When Christian armies captured Muslim cities, they often destroyed or abandoned these bathhouses, seeing them as dens of vice. What had been symbols of health and refinement to Muslims became symbols of corruption to Christians. Thus, Isabella's alleged vow also carried political weight. By rejecting bathing and embracing filth, she set herself in deliberate opposition to the very culture she sought to erase. The image of Isabella in her flea-ridden chemise is more than a curious anecdote. It is a window into a world where faith and fanaticism blurred together. This was the same queen who established the Spanish Inquisition, who expelled the Jews from Spain, and who demanded religious uniformity at any cost. Her body, wrapped in unwashed linen, symbolized the kingdom she was forging, rigid, uncompromising, sanctified by suffering. Whether the vow was real or myth, it reflects the essence of her reign. To Isabella, holiness was worth more than comfort, more than hygiene, even more than humanity. So, was Isabella truly the unwashed queen? The evidence is uncertain. What is certain is that the story endured because it captured the spirit of the age. In her, we see the collision of two worlds, the Islamic Spain of refinement and science, and the Catholic Spain of crusade and purification. Between them stood Isabella, pious, powerful, and remembered, rightly or wrongly, as a queen who wore her filth like a crown.